What's the most efficient way to get inventory from your locations in your warehouse to the packing station in an organized way so that each order goes out efficiently and with the items that it needs? Well, today we're going to go for picking, which is for many orders the fastest and most efficient way to do that while maintaining accuracy. With the picking process, you'll be able to go grab inventory for multiple orders at once, and to keep it efficient, we're going to keep the number of stops at each location in the warehouse to 1 at a maximum. So I'll show you what this process looks like, but first, what makes an order pickable? A couple things must be true for an order to be pickable. One is that it's ready to ship. Once an order is ready to ship, it must also have enough inventory in pickable locations in the warehouse to fulfill the order. If you don't know who I am, I'm Brady Agranoff. I'm a co-founder of Warehance. We're a modern WMS, and if you're looking for your first WMS or an upgrade from what you already have, go down to the link in the description below where you can get a 60-day free trial or a walk through the product from one of us. So let's head over to the pickable locations where we'll start a session, and I'll show you how we go through that process. Okay, so I'm now here at my pickable locations. I have two pieces of hardware with me. I've got a barcode scanner and I've got a mobile device. A lot of people will use tablets or iPads. You can even use your computer, but this seems to be the easiest for me to record a video on. We often suggest using glove barcode scanners where it will fit onto your hand like a glove, and you can use that to scan, or some of them fit over your finger, and that is easy to scan as well. But that allows you to have two free hands, and then you can usually set your tablet or your mobile device on the cart that you're using for picking. But in this case, as a demonstration video, these were the easiest pieces of hardware to use, so this is what I got. One other piece of hardware that you're going to need is a picking cart. If I can roll this on the screen a little bit here. And we have a video already on how we suggest setting up and designing these picking carts, and so we'll leave a link to that in the description down below. But for now, in Warehance, I, just for the sake of this video, set up these 4 totes up top, and we have 4 orders ready to pick. So let's go ahead and get started. So in order to start picking, you can use either the browser or the mobile app. Either one works just fine. I'm here in the mobile app, and I'm going to make sure I go over to picking on the left-hand side. And as you can see here, it says I have 4 orders ready to pick. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Picking, and you're going to see an option that says Quantity of Totes. So if I'm picking normally with this cart in the warehouse, then I'm going to choose 16 totes. I know you can't see all of them, but we have 16 bins here on the cart. But in this case, I know I only have 4 orders, and I'm going to just go ahead and select 4. Actually, I'll go a little over that so you can see. It doesn't really matter if I choose 12 like I have selected here. If there's only 4 available, it will only choose 4 for me to pick. Now, if you look right below that, you'll see exclude single item orders. So if you choose to fulfill your orders with single items through a different method, such as batch shipping, you can say, I never want any single item orders to be flowing through this fulfillment process. And that means any orders that only have 1 SKU in it will not be picked. Now, if I go to view advanced options, as you can see, I can either pick by order status or client if I choose to. Now, in this case, I'm going to leave those blank, and I'm going to go ahead and start picking just from the quantity of totes. One more thing, there's a setting that you can set for your organization that is going to be the default quantity of totes. For this warehouse, they usually set it to 20 totes on the cart by default because that's what most of their carts have. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Picking, and it's going to take a second and load and start a picking session for me. And here we are. So we only have 3 products here. Again, as an example, we have 3 locations as well, picking 1, 2, and 3, and they have socks small, medium, large. Now you can see that's reflected here. The 4 orders are comprised of those products, and you can see here in the pick session, it will lead us to picking location 1, 2, and 3, and we will construct the 4 orders on these totes above here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first picking location that it tells me to. It's going to be in alphabetical order. If you want to see how we set up our picking locations and my suggestions, then go down to the link in the description below, and you'll have a zone and location setup video there, and you can see how I suggest naming and placing these locations. So it's going to send us in alphabetical order. Let's take our cart and go to picking 1, which is right here. And I'm going to scan the product barcode. So some products don't have barcodes on them. These example products don't. So what we tend to do for those is we put the barcodes on the bins if they are always in that bin. In this case, I just have a barcode sitting here, so I'm going to go ahead and scan that, and it's going to ask me to choose a tote. So now, the order that I'm picking for has not yet been assigned to a tote. So I'm going to go ahead and pick an empty tote, and I'll choose 8 red 1. And now it's going to tell me I need to pick one item to this tote of the sock small. So I'm going to grab the item. We have the barcode usually on the item again. I'm going to place it in there, and I'm going to go ahead and scan the barcode. So now I've picked one sock small. And now it's going to ask me for a tote again. So this is because it's switching orders to a new order that still needs these socks small. So I'm going to select another empty tote. And this one needs 2 socks. So I'm going to take 2 socks. Usually I would pick one at a time and scan the product barcode as I place them in. But again, I don't have that barcode available. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 in, scan the product barcode twice. And now we're done picking the small socks, and it's going to ask us to go to picking location 2 to pick the medium socks. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cart back a little bit, and I'm going to set the phone down so that's easier to access. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of these. I'm going to scan the socks medium, and it's going to tell me to select an empty tote. So this is a new order once again. And I'm going to place one of those socks in there. As the screen says, scan the barcode. And now we've gotten to the point where we're picking to an order that we've already picked to. So the order in this case is going to be in tote 8 red 1, as you can see on the screen. So it wants me to scan this tote. And now I'm going to pick 2 medium socks to this tote. So this tote should end up with 1 small sock and 2 medium socks. So I'm going to grab both of them, place them in there, and scan this barcode twice. Okay, now that we've already picked both the small and the medium socks, we're going to go to the last location and the last product that it tells us to go to, which is going to be location picking 3 to pick the large socks. So I'm going to go ahead and scan the product barcode, and then it's asking me to pick an empty tote. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my tote here on the cart. I'm going to place one item there as it says, and scan the product barcode once again. Now it wants me to pick products to 8 red 1. So I'm going to scan the tote, and it wants 1 item. So I'm going to place 1 item in there, and I'm going to go ahead and scan the product barcode again. And lastly, it wants 1 in 8 red 2. So I'm going to do the same. All right, so now it says, congratulations, all items have been picked. The pick session is complete. We have all 4 orders assembled, and I'm going to go ahead and just press complete pick session. And when I do that, these orders will now show up for shipping at the packing stations, so I can bring this cart to those packers. I can grab a new cart, and I can continue picking while they start shipping. Yeah, boy. A couple important things. 1, you can cancel a pick session during the middle of it if something goes wrong. You can click the cancel pick session button, and then it's going to prompt you and ask whether or not you want to put the inventory back to its original locations, or if you want to keep it in the totes. I would almost always suggest putting it back unless you want to manually transfer the inventory. The second important note is that you can view the progress of the pick session by going over to the progress tab, and you can see how many you've picked of each product into each tote and how many are remaining for each tote or order. Now that you've completed your pick session and brought the orders over to packing station, you can go ahead and ship those orders and get them out the door. This is one of many ways that you can fill orders. If you want to see some videos of the other fulfillment processes or warehouse processes, stick around, those will be coming out soon. And once again, you can go down to the link in the description below for a 60-day free trial of Warehance, a modern WMS, or you can get a demo where one of us will walk you through the product. Happy shipping.